Hello everybody, welcome to EUC Blitz. All right, this is the first official quick EUC Blitz race. All right, so what is EUC Blitz? To explain to you guys in short form, EUC Blitz is where two EUC riders come together and they compete against each other in a very short race. That could be a quarter-mile race, that could be a circuit race, it could be an off-roading race. Today, however, it will be a short circuit race time. So it'll be a timed circuit race between two riders. So today we have two riders competing against each other. That's myself, Ustride, and Sensei Veagan. And he'll be facing moi. All right, so Sensei Veagan.
Yes.
Simple question. Introduce yourself real quick to the masses.
All right, I'm Sensei Veagan. I rep out of New Jersey, New York City. And we're just gonna come and see what we can do today. My game plan is to keep it simple and consistent. I don't want to override the track because it's very, very tight. And I don't want to just over torque the Sherman. OG Sherman's known for that. So my game plan, be consistent. And the wheel I'm rolling out, I already said it, OG Sherman. Extreme Bull acrylic pedals is my setup. Clark pads. I have a 3-degree tilt on the pedals in the front, slight dehedral on the side, running with the street tire. So there you have it. And hopefully this all comes together and we put in a good time. Awesome, awesome.
All right, here you have it from the man, Sensei Veagan. Hey, Sensei Veagan,
yes.
Do you have any experience racing at all?
Yeah, I've done the real life rallies, Black Cobra, phenomenal races. So I'll try to take that experience and throw it down on the track today.
All right, so fortunately for him, this is just a time trial, so he doesn't have to worry too much about racing someone head on, all right? All right, so for me, since he's going up against the man, Ustride, let's start with the game plan. The game plan is simply to start off the line with as much torque as possible. As we stated earlier, this is a very thin track. That's why it's timed. So my goal is to get into that corner real fast, slow down as close to the apex as possible, and then bolt away from there and do the same thing for every turn, all right? So my setup is very simple. I have my custom pads. I have the pedals that came with the MasterPro, so nothing new here. I'm riding in medium mode. This is a massive machine, and I've ridden it for probably half a month now, so I'm very familiar with it. Keeping it simple is my game plan. Now, I have raced before. You could say that's a disadvantage, but it's not because I chose a massive wheel. So let's get to it. EUC Blitz.
All right, we have Sensei Veagan on his OG Sherman, Ustride on the MasterPro V1. No excuses. This is a test of pure skill. How is your acceleration, your braking, maneuvering? This track has it all. It's time to blitz.
Okay, so we are here at the track, guys. It's time for the blitz. But first, let me give you guys a lay of the land. The track is very simple. We start here within this circle, okay? Time starts the moment you start moving. As we stated earlier, this is a very thin track. So you're gonna have to get as much speed as you possibly can before coming here, slowing down, bolting up, going here, come around this little cauldron. All right, so obviously you wanna be safe, careful around these edges of the cauldron. Bolt out, go again. Get as much speed as you can. Watch out for these obstacles, slow down. Come right here, around this waterfall, bolt up here. Obviously, that's gonna have to, the rider's gonna have to determine what works for him. be careful of stepping off of the track. You can, but you'll obviously lose a lot of time. Go here, come here, right in under this canopy, down here. All right, this is obviously gonna slow down your speed a lot. Bolt, go fast as you can. This is the end result, and this is where it's gonna be a lot of fun for you to make up any time that you've lost. Come around here and end right here. All right, so that is the track. Let's do it. Blitz. Ready, set, go.
Whoa! I over-torqued it there. It dipped. It dipped, baby. I told you. It dipped. Mark, get set, Blitz. That thing dipped. But that's what I was saying. I know how my wheel is set up, and I know the OG Sherman is known for serious pedal dip. So if I accelerate too quick, the wheel's gonna cut. It is. That's what it's known for. So that's why I was like, man, should I put it in hard mode?
Right.
No. Race what you got.
But earlier you were saying that, you know, what I was trying to tell you is there's no way I would race this, you know, torquing hard, because I know it can't torque hard. So I would put it in hard mode, because you have it in medium.
Right, I have it in medium.
I would put it in hard mode, and I would not like necessarily push it hard in the beginning. I would probably kind of gradually do it if I know it's not a torque.
Right. And my other thought would be, okay, if I put it in hard, how would it feel? Would it take some of the nimbleness out of the wheel? Okay. If that makes any sense of what I'm saying, because your pedals are going to be a little stiffer, right. So you're going to be able to dance on the pedals like Freddie Stair, you know what I mean? Right. But no, I felt good.
You'd probably get more wobbles though, because you're probably not used to riding in hard mode.
Right, you know? and
it's all about setup. It's
dude,
really all about setup.
Setup is, I'm sorry, I'm probably yelling.
No, this is fantastic.
Dude, the thing is too with the setup, what I noticed is, I'm like, why do I feel weird braking? Dude, my pedals used to be flat. Now I have like a 3-degree tilt. Okay. So when I go, you might have got it on camera. So when I go to stop, it feels like I get a little bit of wobbles, but it feels like my hips are not over the wheel. So when I'm going, I'm like, you probably got it. But that's because my pedals were tilted. Again, your pedals are tilted. You can accelerate better, but for me, it kind of knocks the braking off. Not blaming anything, but that's just how you wheel and deal when you win a Blitz, baby. That's when you rolling in the Blitz.
It's all about the setup. You got to know your wheel, you got to know your equipment, and he's in medium mode trying to torque hard. And what happened? You dipped.
It dipped. It dipped like the Sunday at Dairy Queen. I'm telling you. But it's good. It's no excuse. You run the best you can. You do what you can. But dude, you learn a lot when you do stuff like this, because you're coming out your comfort zone.
Absolutely. So how did you feel overall?
I feel good.
Was the Blitz?
Pardon me?
It was a good blitz?
It was a good blitz.
We're gonna find out what the time is, but
Yeah, dude, I always say you get out there, you do the best you can, and you come back stronger in the next one. So you do what you can, and that's it.
Sounds good.
So there we have it. Both riders had a chance to run the track to get a feel for it before the race. This was a one-round race, and here are the results. Sensei Veagan ran it on his OG Sherman with a time of 1 minute and 3 seconds. 5 seconds was deducted to make up for the time he went around the long way at the finish line. Ustride ran it on the MasterPro V1 with a time of 57 seconds, beating Sensei Veagan by approximately 6 seconds. What a challenge this was for both riders. However, in the end, there can only be one, and Ustride with the MasterPro V1 took it all. Let's hear from the riders.
All right, guys, so the blitz is finished. Finito. All right, so we both had a chance before the blitz to experience the track. So he knew what he was getting into. I knew what I was getting into. He knew what his wheel could handle, and I knew what my wheel could handle. But overall, what do you feel about that blitz? How did you feel? Did you feel that you executed your game plan?
Yeah, I think it's cool because you go in thinking one thing, and then as you're racing, just like anything, you have to make micro adjustments, you know? So there's certain things I was like, okay, I know I can't change it. I have to race what I got, and I did, but I felt good, don't get me wrong. But now, after the race is over, after the blitz is over, I'm like, all right, what notes did I get? Start checking off boxes. Do this, do that, do that. So the best thing about it is just going to make you a better all-around competitor. And I'm digging it. I'm digging it. I love the race. I even went down, but that was funny too. That was filming. I went down. But all in all, man, it's very exciting because it's coming down between you and one other person. You don't have another field, it's just you and that person. So I'm glad with what I did today. I learned a lot today, and I'm gonna carry what I learned into the next blitz.
Awesome.
Or just any other competition that I go into.
Awesome, awesome. So a few questions for you. What did you feel about your braking and your acceleration? Did you feel you executed to plan?
Should I spill the beans?
Spill the beans.
No. I'm gonna tell you why.
What do you mean?
Because what I started doing, I start riding, my pedals used to be flat. Okay? But I know I was getting foot fatigue.
Okay, really?
Yeah, I was getting foot fatigue.
Interesting.
So I know with the new E-Rides pedals, they have the inserts, and there's so many people saying with that slight toe lift, it kind of relaxes the muscling feet. I'm like, okay, let me give my pedals a tilt. But I notice when I start tilting and I go to brake, it's like my center of gravity seems like it's not over, like my hips aren't over the center of the wheel. Right. So when I go to brake, I start dancing like Freddie Stair in the back. Oh, wow. I start getting wobbles. And I believe you got some of it on camera. Yeah. Like, why? And I said, oh, that's why, because I tilt on my pedals. Okay. But again, in due time, I'll get used to the tilt. Right. But you got to race with how you have your setup, and then you go with it. You just race and you learn.
So that was your braking. What about your acceleration?
Now the acceleration with the Sherman, it's like I said before, I love the Sherman. It's a great wheel, the OG Sherman. But when you try to, now having a medium mode, you try to accelerate too quick, I hit a dip.
And you're not even a torquer.
I'm not a torquer. So imagine a serious torquer on a thing. I dipped like a Sunday at Dairy Queen.
To be fair, you were in medium mode.
I was in medium mode. And you can hear me saying, I dipped it, I dipped. But it was cool, man. And you just ease off of it, go back, and then you just keep on running. So overall, dude, I feel good, man.
Right.
Ustride.
Yep.
How did you feel about the blitz?
Well, honestly, racing you on a time event was pretty interesting because I didn't have that pressure. You know, we did do a few trial runs, and when you were behind me, I did feel pressure, believe it or not, because I knew my weakness was braking in that corner, so and go around. But the fact that I was just racing the time, it made me feel like, okay, there's no one behind me, just do your best. You know what I'm saying? So I felt a lot of motivation there, and a lot less concern about someone being around me. But overall, I just felt it was a great experience. I liked the little track. It was awesome.
Now, do you feel that you executed your plan 100%?
Yes. sorry, but I did. In the beginning, though, I wouldn't say 100%. I'd say more like 95, maybe 80%, because in the beginning, I didn't take off right, and right before the first turn, I didn't brake right. So I actually, I broke a little too close into the apex, which, you know, which caused me to lose a lot of time. So I ended up doing a lot of work in the beginning when I didn't have to do all that work at all if I just brake a little bit early, I felt.
How did you feel about the acceleration and the braking?
So as far as the acceleration and braking, this MasterPro is a beast. That's all I gotta say. The MasterPro is an insane beast. For such a big wheel, and I've ridden the V13 before, I'm very shocked of how smooth it is, even in medium mode, to take off. Braking is also amazing. My pads are not even torque pads, so they're not even like sticking out, and I was able to brake as well as I expected, you know what I'm saying, for such a big wheel. There was no wobbles in the braking. The acceleration was just smooth. So I think overall that wheel, even though I used it so that you won't have a disadvantage, I felt I was on almost my MSP dude or my EXN. It just felt like an amazing wheel.
Nice. Now, everything that happened today, what are you going to carry? What did you learn into your next race, your next competition?
Well, I'll tell you what, I've been in several races. I've been at the Apple Valley. I cut out. My time trials were really good, up there with show. I did go to the Black Cobra event. Okay, check out that event. That's a freaking great event for testing your skills. But I'll tell you what though, the next thing I feel I'm gonna bring into the next events is never rest on your laurels. Okay. Just because I've raced before doesn't mean, or I've ridden this wheel before, doesn't mean I'm gonna do great, because every track is different, every atmosphere is different, everything's different, the people around you is different. So I just have to constantly remind myself that just because I know how to ride doesn't mean it's a foregone conclusion that I'm gonna do great. Exactly. And I just always gotta be on my tippy toes, and that's what I feel I'm gonna take into the next events, whatever that might be.
There you have it, everybody. The Blitz, baby. This is what it's all about. You bring yourself, you bring your wheel, you don't do no whining, because if you ain't trading paint, if you ain't scraping pedals, you ain't racing, baby.
That's right, baby.
That's what it's all about. I'm Sensei Veagan.
I'm Ustride.
I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us. Remember, you get on your wheel
and you ride it
like you hate it.
Like you hate it.
You be safe out there, but you ride it like you hate it. Hello, good night.
So guys, that's the end of it. Next, see us on the live, where we, you know, continue to talk about the race itself, but also potential future riders for future Blitz races. You can sign up in the comments if you have someone you want to call out and you're on the East Coast. Let us know, call that person out. We'll set up a race for you guys, and check out our website as well. Sign yourself up if you just want to be a Blitz racer, and we could set you up with someone else if you're on the East Coast. So see you guys in the future. Blitz.
Blitz, baby. And remember, it's all about learning and having fun.
Absolutely, guys. It's all about fun.